thank Becky Scott for writing this. You'll notice a lot of her cute humor in it, and also Brother Lamro for getting the pictures, and Carol Walker for finishing up putting it together after Becky left. She's on the group. Okay. Elizabeth Scow. Elizabeth, alias Lizzie, alias Lizard Scow, was born February 19, 1974 in Provo. She was so excited to turn 18 because she realized that she was an adult and could be tried for felonies now. She loves to eat almost anything except chicken and turkey. I told her that's what felons have to eat all day long. I think she bought it. The closest to a felony Lizzie will get is a passel of driving citations. This gal failed the driving range 4 times and the actual driving test 3 times. She would get details on just how she finally passed the range, but my guess is there was some blackmail involved. Liz loves drama. No way, it's theatrics. That sounds more professional to her, and I'll just bet that the officer who pulled her over saw one of her best performances. She was pretty flustered about running a red light, especially when she doesn't remember seeing it. She couldn't find the registration, probably because she didn't know what it looked like. I'm sure Melissa and her cousin's hysterical laughter didn't help her state of mind. She did very well. She didn't get a ticket. Liz likes to sing, ski, hike, camp, and in men like sobriety test. She also loves to go to BYU and try to figure out abstract art at the center. Maybe red lights appear abstract to Liz. She was also pretty specific about her pet peeves. She hates to drive, and I think that needs no explanation. But the most irritating thing to Liz are the Weight Watchers and Jenny Craig commercials. She would love to strangle Jenny. If Jenny were responsible for giving a heart transplant, she could understand her getting all choked up. In her life, her parents and Melissa have been the great influences. Many of her young women leaders have also touched her life. Liz will attend SUU at Cedar City in the fall. Bet you can't guess what she wants to major in. You're right, theatrical arts. She would love to go to New York and Broadway to do professional stage acting. Maybe she'll get married and serve a mission. Go for it, Liz. Congratulations.
Andy Campbell was born March 1st, 1974 in Mesa, Arizona. He likes most food, but maybe coming from Arizona explains why tamales are a favorite. He hates tuna fish or anything that has tuna, smells like tuna, or even resembles tuna. I guess that's why he doesn't eat lunch at Becky's house too often. Andy likes basketball, most athletics, camping, hiking, or just being in the great outdoors. He gets really irritated with little brothers and sisters and messed up rooms. He told me he made Shane Scott clean up his room once, but it only lasted about a week. Now for all the moms out there, here's a new twist for you. Laura bet Andy that he couldn't leave his room messy for a week, and she won. Eat your hearts out, moms. Most of us would love to know what color the carpet is in our boys' rooms. When Andy was a young squirt, he left playing Evel Knievel and decided to jump the stairs on his plastic motorcycle. He hit the door pretty hard and thought he was dead. Maybe that head injury is what caused Andy to grow up with the delusion that boys' rooms are supposed to be clean and orderly. You don't suppose I could have Shane? No, probably not. Getting his first job was a great event in his life. He expressed the good feelings of making an identity for himself and earning things on his own. His parents have had an influence on Andy, as well as many relatives and friends. He did name Shane Scott as having an influence, but we all know it's nothing in cleaning up his room. Andy's plans? To graduate, hopefully. He will work through the summer, go to UBCC in the fall. He is looking for a career in firefighting or architecture. He says no to marriage, and so I guess kids are out too. Great job, and good luck, Andy.
1974 in American Fork. She seems to have developed a sweet tooth for cheesecake, any kind of cheesecake, and she loves fresh fruit. She dislikes intensely broccoli, spinach, and asparagus. Valerie's interests and talents include drawing, painting, calligraphy, piano, water skiing, and boating. With her friends, she loves to drive around, sometimes go to a movie or out to eat, somewhere where they don't serve broccoli. Or she likes to just plain hang out. When she's alone, she spends her time painting, and I don't think she means the finger kind like I do. She said she has so many pet peeves that she didn't want to be specific, but she did finally give me a good one. Seems that people who burp in public make her crazy. Now, right at this very moment, there are a couple of Valerie's friends who are cracking up. They are sharing a private joke with her. I did a little investigative work and found out that Valerie herself is infamous for being one of the loudest burpers in PG high history. I decided the reason that other people irritate her when they burp is because they are treading on her territory. Some of the people who have had an influence on Valerie's life have been her family, her grandparents, especially Grandma Mary, Matt Richardson, Shane Smith, and Molly Dean. Val's plans, Valerie's plans for the future include marriage in the Salt Lake Temple and becoming a first-grade teacher. I hope she doesn't give those kids burping lessons. Congratulations and good luck, Valerie.
1974 in the American Fork Hospital. John loves sports. Not only does he like to play basketball with his friends, but he watches it all the time on television. I can vouch for that because he was in the middle of a game when I made him relay all this information to me. I did not have his undivided attention. John isn't interested in women yet, but I think when he finds one, she better like basketball, or at least be able to tolerate it. Some of John's favorite foods are cottage cheese and saltine crackers. That makes sense. They can be eaten in front of the television very easily. He hates green vegetables. I suppose they can be messy in front of the set. John has a couple of things that irritate him. Number one is sophomores, and number two were sisters. I think there is one other thing that Renee told me about. He doesn't appreciate his family laughing at him in times of crisis. Once he was 14, he was riding on a horse bareback. He started sliding off fairly slowly, and the picture he presented was so funny that no one could stop laughing long enough to help him. He finally fell off and hasn't forgiven anyone of them to this day. John related a scout tale about the snow caves that collapsed in the middle of the night. Luckily, there was an older couple with the cabin nearby who put them up for the night. He'll tell that one to his kids. People who have influenced John most in his life are his parents, Glenn and Renee, and Ruth Nelson. In the fall, John will attend college, although he isn't sure just where yet. He wants to serve a mission, would like to marry in the Hawaiian temple, and have a few kids, but not too many. Congratulations and good luck, John.
Kirsten Sorensen was born January 22nd, 1974 in the American Fork Hospital. She loves to read, ride horses, camp, or be in the mountains, and she likes working with kids. One of her hobbies is being sick. She enjoys talking with her friends or just driving around. When she's alone, she reads or thinks a lot. There's one thing that Kristen really hated, and this was some food that her grandmother fixed. She described it like this. She thought they were long, white, and stringy, sort of like potatoes, and she also thought they came from a pig. Well, for days, I tried to figure out if her grandma was just a very bad cook, or if my cooking wasn't as bad as I thought. Nothing that I cooked ever came off of a pig, and ever looked white, stringy, or resembled a potato. A couple days later, Kirsten solved the mystery for me when she called to tell me that it was parsnips she hated so much. And she already knew they didn't come from a pig. Even though her brothers irritate her, she loves them very much. Dad and Grandma were given as a great influence in her life. I guess Grandma's parsnips weren't too bad after all. Kirsten will attend Rick's in the fall, then BYU. She wants to get a degree in elementary education with a math minor. I suggested a cooking class would be nice. She plans on being a part-time beautician, wants 6 kids and a temple marriage in opposite order. Congratulations and good luck, Kirsten.
Bucky Thomas was born January 16, 1974 in Twin Falls, Idaho, and didn't hesitate one tiny bit as he expressed his dislike of cucumbers. He loves, however, lean towards the Italian, since spaghetti and lasagna are his favorite foods. His wife better know how to prepare those. His greatest love, I think, must be sports. When he was 12, he hit a home run off E.H. Hansen, and in all the excitement of the moment, he tripped over first base. But Bucky stayed with it, and my sources say that he can cross first without a mishap now. Third base, well, that's another story. The thing that irritates him most is when the Jazz lose a game. I can just imagine what he was like during the Jazz-Bulls conflict. Sitting in the hot tub with his friends is a favorite thing to do. I wonder if it helps with the old sports injuries, like the ones that occur when you trip over something. Getting his ankles Scout was the most memorable event in his life, and for a good reason. Great job, Bucky. I'm sure his dad was proud as he is one of the best influences in Bucky's life, along with his mom and all of his coaches. Bucky plans on a mission in January or February, and then on to Snow College for 2 years. He intends on becoming a general contractor, and when he finds the girl who can cook Italian food the best, will probably marry her in the temple. Congratulations and good luck, Bucky.
Princess Callie Annie was born November 8, 1973 in American Fork. In her formative years, she developed a love for chicken, pizza, and cheesecake of any kind. However, she developed a great big dislike for tortellini and a big dislike for shrimp. Now, I understand when she was 8 or 9, she went out to eat with her family. She went to the restroom, and when she returned, her family was nowhere to be seen. The manager had to call her home and tell her parents to come and get her, since they still hadn't realized she was missing. As Callie tells the story, Lyman thought he had won a contest which Callie had entered him in, when the manager asked, "Do you know a Callie Swenson?" Callie, however, still likes to eat out, but she says she enjoys going with her friends. I know, I understand. Callie has developed her talents and interests over the years. She has a beautiful voice and plays the piano too. She loves to water ski, enjoys all sports, and the great outdoors. Grandma Dot was the first person Callie mentioned as a great influence on her life. Also, a first-grade teacher, Miss Aceta, and her boyfriend, Rob, who is older and wiser. Hope he never leaves her at the restaurant. Callie has had a childhood lifelong dream of being a singer. She may attend some college and plans on getting married and having a family. Callie, if you take the kiddies to the restaurant, count them before you leave. Congratulations, and go for it, Callie.
David Oliphant. At American Fork Hospital on March 14, 1974, David Oliphant was born. Since that time, a very unique individual has emerged. David likes hiking, camping, and physical sciences and singing. If his singing voice is as nice as his speaking voice, he must be good. He discusses physics and calculus with his friends, and since this is the Ward thing, he discusses religion too. When he's alone, he reads a lot, thinks a lot, and it's a good thing because he needs all the help he can get with those topics of discussion. I'm just glad David found some friends who know what calculus is, let alone discuss it with him. It irritates him when girls call on the phone and talk about nothing. David likes to talk about something. But don't worry, it doesn't have to be physics and stuff like that. He loves pizza and orange sherbet, but hates cooked peas. Maybe some girl has that in common with him. He remembers well the day the cat died and the dog died, but since this is a Ward thing, we talked most about hiking Kings Peak, which is in the Uinta Mountains. The elevation is about 13,580 feet, and the view was spectacular. And because this is a Ward thing, he wouldn't tell Becky anything funny or embarrassing. In general, his family has influenced his life, along with the human race and some teachers. David will attend BYU in the fall, go on a mission, hopes he is headed forward in life, and will do something with science or math. Great job, David. Congratulations.
Janae Walker. Janae was born August 28, 1974 in American Fork and experienced a great moment when she received 4.0 throughout the 9th grade. Actually, she was not clear on whether she was more excited about the grades or the money Jay awarded her with. No matter, both are tops in my book. Janae likes to have fun with her friends by acting crazy and having a good time. She lists riding horses as one of her favorite things to do, along with mountain biking, snow skiing, water skiing, piano, and drawing. If you want to irritate her, just be a man. No, wait, that's not exactly what she said. What she said was that people who always think they are right irritate her. She likes watching movies. You will never see her eat a green vegetable. Chinese food, yes. Spaghetti, yes. But green vegetables are taboo. Her parents and friends have been great influences on her life, as well as the apostles through their talks. Her plans include going to college in the fall. She hasn't made up her mind where she's going, but it will definitely be away from home. She wants to be a pharmacist and will someday marry and have a family. Good luck, Janae.
27th, 1974, Ryan Fenton was born in American Fork Hospital. He loves pizza and steak and hates any vegetable. He doesn't care for people who brag about themselves either. He does, however, love to water ski, play baseball, hunt, and go four-wheeling. He would have loved that blonde down the street, but there isn't one that he knows of. He remembers well two events in his life which coincidentally both include water. The day his dad baptized him was a very special and memorable event. The day he became a human beach ball when he water skied into the beach was not so special, but it definitely was memorable. Ryan plans on going to Snow College in the fall. He wants to become an orthodontist. That's because he almost lost his teeth in the great beach crash, I'll bet. As I think about it, being an orthodontist and water skier makes sense. Ryan also looks forward to a mission. He didn't mention marriage, maybe because he hasn't found that blonde yet. Congratulations, Ryan, and good luck.
Melissa Keach was born September 27, 1974 at Utah Valley Hospital in Provo, and has been called lots of different things by lots of different people, but she wouldn't inform me of any of them. So call her anything. Melissa loves to play piano, vacation with her family, and go out to eat with her friends. When they splurge, they go to the brick oven. At home alone, she spends some time watching television. She loves salt and vinegar potato chips and chocolate. She was specific about asparagus. She hates it. Melissa's most memorable event was when her appendix ruptured. After hearing the whole story, I can see why she will never forget the experience and why she will always value good health. As for people who have had a great influence on her life, she said most definitely her mom and her family have all been great influences on her life. In the fall, Melissa plans on going to Cedar City. Well, this week, that is her plan. Seems to change each week. Wherever she winds up, she will work on becoming an elementary school teacher. She wants to marry in the Washington, D.C. temple and might have kids. Congratulations and good luck, Melissa.
Gal, the ladies' pal. 1974 in Seattle, Washington. As he grew up, he developed a love for Salisbury steak and mashed potatoes, burritos, and Bart's root beer. The only aversion he has is to American cheese. Says it makes him hurl. Now, hurl was a description I'd never heard before, and for those of you who haven't either, it means bark. One of the greatest events in Alex's life was getting his license. It allowed him to get a life, as he put it. However, driving has also perpetuated his formation of some very definite pet peeves. He hates people who cut him off while driving, and also those who don't signal. Alex knows where he is going. He wants to know where everyone else is going too. Unfortunately, I've heard that the Keaches are hoping Alex isn't going to their place again. It seems he's jinxed when he attends the Taco Amigo parties there. He's always breaking things. The last time he was on his way out when the Keaches doorknob, and you know that the Keaches have nice doorknobs, came off in his hand. It was another in a long list of catastrophes for Alex at the Keach home. So when you see Alex signal to turn into the Keach home, you'll know the disaster awaits, or that Deanne will suddenly leave town again. Alex enjoys cars, music, and money, and he put a big emphasis on money. He plays piano, racquetball, baseball, computer programming, and the unusual things. Unusual things meaning girls. He enjoys going to the mall with his friends. I think he looks around for the unusual things. His time alone is spent listening to music and sleeping. After all the unusual things, he enjoys being exhausted at his age. Alex's parents and friends have had a great influence on his life, and also some of his teachers. Not all of his teachers, and especially not beep beep. His plans for the future are very explicit. He will go to BYU in the fall for a year, then on a mission, back to BYU for 3 years. Eventually, he plans on being the CEO of Ford Motor Company. He came up with that to satisfy the career counselor at school, who kept on insisting he had to have a specific goal. Well, Alex, that is as specific as it gets. Good luck and great job.
Coffee Joe's. Guess what we served every year at camp? She likes pizza and shrimp. Guess what we didn't serve? Something new to do or just hang out. She could take them to chase jeeps on nice. Congratulations and good luck this Christmas.
Young was born. His mom lovingly refers